Hi, I'm Ree from mummyoffour.com. Welcome back to my channel and a highly requested garden tour video. If you've been following along our journey, you'll know that we bought this house back in 2019. We did a renovation project from the end of 2019 up until around the first lockdown happened before we moved in. And then the extension, which is this bit behind me, we started in September 2020 and finished just before Christmas. The garden as you see it now was made over around the same time we did the extension, and obviously I filmed lots of vlogs and things while we've been in the garden, but I've had lots of requests to show you all around properly. So before we get into it, I just want to say if you're new here, welcome, please subscribe, hit that bell to be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 PM. I do lots of vlogs, organisation content, speed cleans, shop with me haul videos, that kind of thing. I hope you will love it all. So when we bought the house, all of this that you can see behind me, large portions of the garden were covered with very overgrown bushes, and this wasn't really maximising the space we had. There were two patio areas in front of the house, one of which is underneath where we've currently got the extension. So after we moved in, my husband started to rip out all the bushes and put up the fence that you can see behind me now. We had grass in places and patio in places, but it was really quite patchy and often very, very muddy thanks to the Welsh weather. Then when we started doing the extension, obviously a large amounts of the garden were dug up, and not just where the extension footings were being dug, but also where the diggers and things were going around, and just generally turfing everything up. So while the extension was underway, but he was waiting for supplies, I think it was windows. He was waiting for windows for a little while and was looking for something to fill his time. Got loads and loads of chippings and whacked them all down with a whacker apparently, and made the garden look a bit like the surface of the moon so that this astroturf could be laid. Now we had astroturf in our last garden down for about 4 years before we moved, and it was the best thing we ever did. The only slight downside to astroturf is sometimes you will get slight static electric shocks off it, when, especially if the children are running around a lot and then they touch you, it's like, whoop. So recently my husband has spent a lot of time putting sand on this astroturf to fluff it up and also to reduce the static electricity. So that's enough guessing about how the garden was. I'm going to flip the camera around and show you how the garden is now. So this is our garden. So as you can see, this is the extension. If you've seen our renovation series, you will be familiar with this. There is a full playlist where you can see the whole thing going up from start to finish if you are interested in how that was built and how my husband managed to get it done in time for Christmas. So we've got quite a lot of sliding doors. We've got this sliding door that was with the original house, and then obviously we've got the sliding door here and this one round here, and the idea being that in the nice weather, and we've had a couple of days of nice enough weather so far this year that we've been able to do this, we've just been able to open all the doors and feel very much like the outside is inside. So the astroturf that I talked about, I'm not sure if you can see, it's quite feels quite sort of cushioned. It's fantastic. It really is the best thing we ever did because it dries so quickly, stops the children dragging mud into the house. Even though I asked them to take their shoes off straight away, we still end up with loads of muddy boots and things. So not only does it avoid all the mess, but it just looks neat and tidy all year round. So as we're looking out from the house, it always looks green and plush and lovely. Kind of like maybe Teletubby Land or a Big Brother garden. But either way, I kind of love it. This garden furniture is super old. It's from our old house. It'll still do for now. It has got, if you look carefully, a couple of little holes in it, so we could probably do with a new set eventually, but it really is serving a purpose for now. It does live outside all year round. We don't put it away or anything. We just take the cushions in, which is probably why it's a little weathered, but it serves a purpose and it's lasted really well. I think this was from the range, and we're tempted to, if they've got some in stock, just get the same stuff again. Now I've got rather a lot of these little IKEA tables and chairs. As you can see, we've got some just inside our house as well, and then we've got a few sets outside. We've got more chairs than we have children, because when the children have friends over, they've got somewhere to sit. From our old house indoors, I kind of feel like once the IKEA kiddie furniture comes outside, because it is indoor or outdoor furniture, but once it comes outside, it's got to live outside because it does fill up with water a little bit in the legs and things. So you can leave it indoors, but I feel like once it's been outside, it wouldn't really go back in the house very well. Down the side of the house here, we've got a shed, and that's just for scooters and toys and things. These would go into there. They've just been left out as the children have been playing with them. The playhouse, I get arcs and slide from the old house. And then when we moved here, it was it. So all of this bit was an extension of the playhouse. And then he built this little like cupboard thing underneath, and the children keep toys, dolly prams, things like that in there. And he put a little bit of that AstroTurf in there as well. And then he just painted it with a nice grey, and I wanted a bit of pretty pink. The bunting is from Amazon, I can link that below. These flowers are from IKEA. I never in a million years thought they would last. I think that it has been so windy over the winter, as I'm sure you can imagine. I thought that they would all be long gone, but no, they've stayed. Everything, all the garden furniture is blown around. That's blown all over the garden, but the flowers have stayed. So in the children's playhouse, they've just got their bouncy, what are they called? Space hopper things, which they love. And tucked down the side of the playhouse, they've just got some hula hoops. Over here, we've got a plant that came from our old house, and this is the rest of the bunting. This was just one string of bunting, and some of it's on the front of the playhouse and some of it's there. My husband made this blackboard with wood, I suppose, and blackboard paint. And this plant over here was from our old house too. So we have actually got some plants in our garden that are real. That one is real and that one is real, but the grass is fake. So these are the more little tables for the children. And then over here we've got the tree that the children call Daddy's tree. He actually bought this one to plant in this garden. This is my husband's shed, which is locked actually. It's got all his tools and things, and I don't have a key on me, so maybe ask him over on his channel to give you a little tour of. We watched his saw unboxing video on his YouTube channel. It was done under there. There's also a whole load of rubbish that needs sorting under here, and this is the car I use to push Zara back and forth to school. Oh, in fact, this was the gadget that he ordered for dropping sand all over the place. So that's how he moved the sand all around the garden. This thing was actually here when we bought the house, and it was around the other side of the house. He's dragged it around here, and again it's for like scooters and things like that the children can access themselves. So we've got this rather big gate, but that locks nicely for security, so the children are kept safe, and also because it's quite windy, and when it gets windy that would blow if it was my husband's hosepipe thing that's attached to the wall that I never ever use. And then in here, if we look through in here, this is my laundry room, and this is often the door that I use to take the children in and out back and forth to school, because if you can see in there, I've got just a nice area of those little mats that I use to put their dirty wellies and things on, and that way as we walk back from school and their shoes are muddy and disgusting, they're not all over the dining room, they're just kept in that laundry area. Worked on it, gives us so much more space. It's like another room, because the second it stops raining the children can come out and play. Let's keep our fingers crossed for a nice dry summer so we can spend some time out here enjoying it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have liked this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 PM. Latest video is just here, and another video you may enjoy from my channel is down here. See you guys soon. Bye.